U.S. authorities have arrested a Haitian American businessman here on U.S. soil, accusing him of feeding the chaos that is tearing down his own homeland. Now, this is not about just the arrest of this one businessman, but this reflects a broader shift in the U.S. posture towards foreign nationalists. Even legal residents linked to destabilizing foreign activities. Here is why you should care. My audience, this is why you should care, because we are conservatives, we are America first, and we are law and order. So I'm bringing you this story because I want us to take deeper dives into foreign policies when we look at what's happening in our immigration, when we look at what's happening all around the world. These are some of the reasons why. So I'm going to break it down into bullet points for us to digest slowly. So welcome back to The Conservative Poet with me, Amania. Let's get into this conversation. So why should you care? This underscores that U.S. immigration policies, national security concerns, foreign policy consequences are now more tightly linked. People can't just get away with anything anymore. Not under the Trump administration. Things are being looked at around the globe, and again, putting America's interests first. So we have to understand why it's so destabilized in other countries, which is what's bringing so many people to our shores. So this arrest links into that. So this is also sending a message to green card or permanent card holders, residents here, that guess what? Nobody is above the law. Everybody can be scrutinized. If you're doing things that you're not supposed to, yeah, you are not above the law. Legal status is not immunity. These are the kind of messages that it's telling people. You can be removed. You can be returned. Legal status does not mean immunity, that you can come to this country and do whatever you want in this country and also do other things in the foreign land as well. So given the influence of the diaspora, and that is the nationalists who's here in America, whether that be Haitian, the Haitian diaspora, or any other group of people from another country, that's what they're labeled. They're called the diaspora. And so in the diaspora community, foreign policy interests in Haiti's stability, this case sets a precedent to anyone who is in the diaspora, who is here, who is aiding back home to do what we call some bad business. You can't do bad business by aligning yourself with those who are destabilizing the region. If you're doing that and you're on American soil, you're using American-made money here to send money back there to do destabilization, then the U.S. has a problem with you. And this gentleman found out just how badly that was. So let's get into it. So, Pierre Reginald Boulos is his name, and here is his background. Boulos was born in the United States, New York City, to Haitian parents. He's part of a prominent family. His parents, Carlos and Amy Boulos, He has multiple siblings as well. His education and medical background. He studied medicine in Haiti, Port-au-Prince, and he graduated in 1981. He later earned a master's in public health and tropical medicine at the Tulane University here in the United States in New Orleans, 1982. His career, he's built a career in business and built an empire in Haiti as well. He's founded supermarkets, car dealerships, and other ventures. One of his supermarket name is Deli Mart, and the car dealership Auto Plaza. And he's done other ventures as well. He's also served as the head of the National Chamber of Commerce. And his political involvement, in 2019, he launched a political party movement pour la transformation. The rest of it is I can't really pronounce, but for short, MTV Haiti. And he was positioning himself as a presidential hopeful. So he was involved in this political party, and he was positioning himself to run for president in Haiti. So he is also of Lebanese descent, Middle Eastern descent through his parents. So that is a little bit about who he is. So he is not just a random street gang member. This is a well-educated doctor, entrepreneur, influencer, elite in Haiti's economic and political landscape. This guy is not some guy off the street. This guy is educated, money, influence, and so on. And so let's get into a little bit more deeply into what we're having this conversation about. What did he do and how that he was under the microscope and under investigation under U.S. government laws? So what is Boulos accused of? ICE, gang ties, destabilization of his own homeland. Okay? On July 17, 2025, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, working with other agencies, arrested Boulos at his home in South Florida. The official charge, violating the immigration law, Immigration and Nationality Act, on the grounds that he contributed to the destabilization of Haiti by allegedly engaging in a campaign of violence and providing support for or to criminal gangs. His presence in the U.S. was deemed to pose serious adverse foreign policy consequences. So, in other words, he was arrested by ICE because he was allegedly causing, or he contributed to the destabilization, all of the chaos that we're seeing in Haiti. And again, this is through influence, through money, through power. He was influencing and engaging the gangs and the violence happening there, whether that was through putting money in, however that went. But the U.S. saw that as a serious adverse foreign policy consequence. You can't do that, because what's happening is, if the region is destabilized, it's running around in chaos, then that means the people can't function, businesses can't function, and therefore people are trying to escape, which entails why so many are leaving their homeland to come to America, because they can't do anything there because of the violence, because of the destruction, because of all of these things. So what that does now, it poses something for U.S. policy. It poses something for U.S. security. When we have so many people, unvetted people, fleeing their country to come here to America. Why? Because this person allegedly has poured money into the gang violence and the war and the chaos that's happening there. And the U.S. is saying, no, friend, you can't do that. And so This is part of the reason why he was arrested. So let's get into it even more. So Boulos is accused again of contributing to the destabilization of Haiti. So let's just break that down little by little right now. So this includes supporting violent gangs. We know that there has been a increase of violence with gangs in Haiti. We see it on the news. We see it everywhere. It's constant. So if you're supporting violent gangs, then again, the communities there are not safe. We've seen them with machine guns walking around. And I don't know or understand how this is possible when there is police, but it seems that the gangs are much more than the police. And so if there's more gangs in the street than there's police, then obviously there's going to be chaos where the police is not in charge. Now, I'm not an expert in how these things work, but I want to start having conversations about the reasons why we have so many people leaving their homeland and coming here to America. So if you know a lot about foreign policy, give us some ideas in the chat so that we can be more educated on what the situation is with police and gangs so we can know better. But all we know is that it is destabilized, it's a problem, and people supporting this, like Reginald Boulos, he is supporting these things with his dollars, with his support, and so on and so forth. And he's also being accused of campaign of violence. And not really sure how all of that goes, what he's actually doing when it comes to that. But it doesn't sound like something the U.S. is in favor of. And he's also accused of collaborating with gang leaders tied to Viv Ansanm, which the U.S. has designated as a foreign terrorist organization. Now, we know that the U.S. doesn't throw terrorist organization around lightly. Now, yeah, they don't. So when you hear that, the pricklies go up, foreign terrorist organization, that sends signals that this is a bad thing. This is a bad organization. And it's because they don't throw that around. At least they didn't used to. And the next thing he has allegedly lied on his U.S. residency application. So that is another thing. ICE says he failed to disclose his role in funding a political party. He failed to do that on his application when he applied to be a resident. Okay, he's failed to disclose that Haiti's anti-corruption office referred to him for prosecution over misuse of government loans. Oh boy, that's bad right there, because you're not supposed to be taking away from any government. Because again, the government money is the people's money, whether you're taking money from the people, the American taxpayer, or you're taking money away from the Haitian resident and the government there, because again, all of those things tie in. It's a bad thing. So that signal to them an omission of fraud, right? And so fraud under immigration law. So this is how they're tying him into with his application and his political party and not disclosing certain things. So again, in the eyes of the U.S. law, this is a bad thing. The third thing, the State Department issued a rare determination. They ruled that his presence in the U.S. causes serious adverse foreign policy consequences. Okay, this is an extraordinary statement. Why? It's saying because Washington really uses this power So this is not something they use on a daily. It's reserved for people whose actions threaten stability abroad by extension of U.S. interests. So this could definitely be this for Haiti, because if this is threatening instability abroad, and that's going to cause for people to flee their country. And so now they're going to flee to the U.S. because everybody's flooding to here. So if you're causing instability over there and causing people to leave to come to America, then America's got to deal with it. Now American taxpayer dollars has got to, feed some people. American taxpayer dollars have to go and make sure people have housing and they got medical care and all of these things, all of the free stuff that the Democrats tell you that, come on down. It's free. You can come here and get all these things for free. And so if they're destabilizing their own homeland because they don't have food, they don't have clean water, they don't have what they need, but you're telling them, hey, you can come to America. And so America has these things. Of course, they're going to be coming out here. Of course. So if you're funding these instabilities in that country, then you are essentially causing people to want to leave their homeland to come to America. Now you got a problem with America, friend. Now you got a problem. Now America's got to, because now that's interesting to us, because now you're taking food out of the American mouth to feed foreign nationalists, because now they have to leave their country to come here to America. So let's get into the next segment of this conversation, baby. This is getting deep. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We love to hear what you have to say in the comments. Drop something in the chat. Amania, America first. Amania, America first. Let's drop something in the comment to let YouTube and the algorithm know that you are liking this content, this conversation. So, what is the law that the U.S. government is using? What law is the government invoking? Here it is. Immigration and Nationality Act, Section 237 A4C. This allows the U.S. to deport anyone, even a green card holder, whose presence harms America's foreign policy interests. So if you're here on a green card, if you're here and you're doing things in the other country that destabilizes it, and so this has now become an interest to America. Okay, this has become, and here's what that includes. So people financing gangs abroad. Yeah. If you're here in the country, you are not a legal resident of America. Even if you were a legal resident of America, this thing can be revoked. Okay, it can be revoked. And if you're a green card holder, I'd say stay away from it, period. So this would include people financing gangs abroad, people aiding foreign terrorist groups, sending your money to aid these groups, yeah, and even sheltering them. That's an issue as well. And then people contributing to the destabilization of a foreign country. Now, these things are important to U.S. policy because under the Donald Trump administration, this tool is being used aggressively and strategically. Let us talk a little bit about what happened in Venezuela just last week. The Trump administration put into effect, they went into a country that is being destabilized by its so-called president, and they snatched him up in the night. They snatched him up in the night so they can fix the problems. So that they can fix the problems. And so people who are doing these things, if they can snatch up a president of another, or so-called president of another country, to remove him because of the destabilization, because the people in Venezuela, they can't really function because of this so-called president. They couldn't function. They were destabilized. And so now the president of the United States and the American government went in there and snatched him up and removed him. So now that sends a message to other countries and to other people and to other foreign leaders and saying, look, if you're not doing right by your people, the U.S. may have to step in and snatch you up in the night. This could be for whoever. And so that goes for those gang members too. You think that the U.S. don't know where they are? They know. And if you, as a green card holder here in the U.S. soil, you're sending your money to the gangs, you're sending your money to destabilize where you are for terrorist groups, you can be snatched up as well. And you can be snatched up right here in American soil. And you can be returned back home. And you can't be returning back to America. So you have to be respectful of your own country and be respectful of America's country. Because when you're sending money over there to destabilize over the other country and the people are migrating to America, then you're causing problems for America. Then you're causing problems for Americans. Then you're causing problems for the taxpayer American. And the Trump administration is saying, no, we're going to snatch you up and send you back. So why does this story matter? It is a warning to those elites, to those in power, to those who has influence, those who has resources, not just in Haiti, but around the world. If you enjoy the benefits of America, you enjoy the luxuries and the wonderful things, our freedoms here in America, you enjoy safety, you enjoy residence, wealth, protection, well then you can't bankroll violence aboard. You can't bankroll violence in your homeland. You can't, in your home country. You can't bankroll violence and destabilization in these other countries. You just can't do that. So what this does is that it signals a major shift in U.S. policy towards Haiti and towards other countries, towards Venezuela and other countries that's destabilized around the region. Okay, the U.S. is no longer tolerating diaspora political operations being funded through gangs. They are not allowing those here in America in the diaspora to send money to operate politically and funding gangs. They're not allowing it. Business elites who are laundering money through and for violence, the weapons and everything else. No, the U.S. is saying, no, baby. We are not going to sit back anymore and allow such disorder in the foreign countries, because what happens is that everybody's now packing up to come to America. And so foreign nationalists using any place in America as a safety haven, like Reginald Boulos, who was, laid up lovely in Miami. No, you can't do that. You can't just lay up in Miami and having your cake and eating it too, and sending money to the foreign land, to the other country, as you riled up gangs and these allegedly sending money to do these things. No, America is saying no, you can't do that, because when that happens, then American citizens are being put in a situation where they have to literally fund to take care of foreign nationals in this way. So foreign nationals using Miami as a safe place for their operation, no, we're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. Okay, next one. It shows again that America is tightening its screws on foreign destabilizers. This isn't about immigration paperwork. This is not It's not about paperwork. This is about national security. This is about foreign policy. This is not just to bring your country's chaos into ours. No. We want you to be able to come to America, of course, because we need migration. We need these things. But guess what? Not everybody has to pack up and come here. You can't leave your country empty and everybody pack up and move to America. There's got to be some kind of stabilization in these countries. We've got to quiet down the chaos so people can function and live and do business there, right? We have to be able to do these things. And you can't do it when the chaos is being funded through money from America. It's just not that way. So what this is doing, it sets a precedent, and that the Haitians are watching, the American people is watching, everybody is watching what's happening across the country. So what all of this does is that it shows that America is tightening the screws on foreign destabilizers. Okay? So this isn't about immigration paperwork. This is national security. This is foreign policy. This is don't bring your country's chaos into our country. And so again, when these people are funding things that's destabilizing those other countries, these things comes to our shores. They come to our front door, and we as the American, we as the taxpayer, now we are in a situation. We are in a situation, and the administration is saying, no, we are going to return you. We are going to return you. We are going to return you. Okay, next one. It sets also a precedent, and either here in America, to the Haitians that's here, to the Haitians that's in their homeland, it sets a precedent. They are watching. The Haitian voters here in America are watching. The Haitian people who understand what's happening, the chaos that's happening, they are watching. So this case really does send shockwaves through the Haitian political community, because this person with influence, money, wealth is being returned, has been arrested, right? And could be returned, I should say. He's been arrested and could be returned. So it's telling you that people with money, influence, and power, you're not above the law. Business elites with U.S. ties, you are not above the law. Gang networks benefiting from the diaspora money, you are not above the law. If you're sending your money to fund things that's bad for America, you're going to get arrested and you're going to be returned. So this is what accountability looks like. You don't get to destabilize your own country and have your fellow people scattered and crazy and then trying to run away to America while you're laid up in your haven here in American soil. No, you can't do that. The Haitian people have suffered for decades and decades. I mean, it's been destabilized for a really, really long time. And many of the architects, right, of that suffering have they beachfront properties out there in Miami, living the dream, drinking martinis and drinking their little rum and cokes and whatnot, and just living. And then, of course, sending their money to do these terrible things in their own country. It's no good. And they're building wealth on top of it. Of course, there's a way for them to get money out of all of this. It's always about money when it comes to any of it. There's money and power. It's always about money and power. Well, it finally looks like there's an administration in power that's saying, no, we're not going to continue this, whether it be in Venezuela, whether it be in Haiti, we're not going to continue. And President Trump has even brought up Cuba. There might be things happening there. So the administration is doing some work. We may not see it. And that's why I really want to start covering other things outside of shootings in Chicago. Okay. I want to cover other topics and conversations because this is something that I don't think any of the commentators in my space is even mentioning. And so I want to stand myself apart from the same old conversations and get into deeper conversations. And so this is still bringing you America first, but we first have to understand why other countries are in such chaos and that everybody is running to America. These are some of the reasons. So maybe every now and then I will cover the shootings in Chicago, cover Brendan Johnson and all the crazies that's going on. But I really want us to dive deep into what's happening around the world and as to why everybody is trying to come here to America. So this is a conversation. I think I'm going to do it in more of a series built sort of way so we can continue to have these conversations. So I want to say right now, if you're helping the gangs destroy a country, a nation, a region, America has had it. America has had it with you all. And America has every right to revoke whatever applications you have in the system. America has every right to remove your green card. America has every right to ship you back. If you're causing havoc here and you're using money from America to send so there's havoc there, then no, America has every right to revoke your citizenship here. He has every right to send you back. As I land this plane, say this: justice doesn't always come quickly, but it does come. Look at the case of Maduro. He ruled for years and years and years, causing the people of Venezuela havoc. But justice came last week, snatched him up in the dead of the night. So justice doesn't always come quickly, but it does come. And just like the story of Reginald Boulos, his fate was sealed when the American government rolled up and snatched him up too. And what this does, it sends a message that no one is above the law, whether you're a foreigner, a nationalist of another country, whether you are here in America. Justice does come. And I want to say that Haiti deserves better. Haiti deserves better than its people funneling guns, funneling in chaos. The Haitian people deserve peace. The Haitian people deserve better. It deserves better than its own turning against it. So they can wealthy up themselves, that they can make themselves even bigger billionaires or millionaires, right? Because it's no longer millionaires, it's billionaires, right? So we have to take responsibility. The Haitian people have to take responsibility for their own country. You can't turn on your own people to make yourself rich and wealthy. So Haiti deserves peace, and America deserves honesty. It deserves honesty from those coming into our land to do business well. Those coming in to not to use their wealth, their money, their power to destroy their own homeland and to destroy other parts of the world. Because when you do that, it destabilizes those other countries and all roads lead to America because everybody's got their backpack on their backs and they're strolling down the border and they're coming to America. So America deserves honesty by the diaspora of other countries that come here to build a life. Build your life. We welcome you to come and build life and do business and work. but you can't send your money back to destroy your homeland so you can continue to get wealthy. This is unacceptable. And so Maduro understands that now, and Reginald Boulos understand that now, because they were both snatched up in the night, because the Trump administration is not playing. Okay? There are consequences. The Trump administration is not playing. There are consequences. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming around and being a part of the Conservative Poet conversation here with me, Amania. So glad that you were able to stop by for a little bit of truth, because again, I want us to be able to have conversations, not just about the everyday things that we've been covering over and over and over again. The shootings in Chicago, I think I'm going to just land this plane. Okay. I don't want to get into another tiff here, but thank you very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Talk to me in the comments. What do you think about the conversation? What do you think about the Trump administration doing this real work? This is real work. Because in order for us to be stabilized here in America, these other countries need to be stabilized too. And if there are bad apples destabilizing them, then we need to snatch them up. And if they're living the life of luxury here in America, friend, they need to get the hammer, and they need to get it quick, swiftly. Justice comes. It may not come quick, but it comes. And again, Maduro was able to see that, and our friend Reginald Boulos was able to see that. Don't forget, like, share, comment, share. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in another conversation.